Thanks for watching. You're about to get tapped in.
Today we're in Orange County at Cismontane Brewing in Rancho, Santa Margarita.
Cismontane was started by two Southern California natives, Ross Stewart and Evan Weinberg.
They named their brewery after the unique culture and history of this area of Southern California.
So let's head inside to hear more about the name and the beers.
All right, let's check it out.
I'm here with Evan Weinberg, one of the owners of Cismontane, and we wanted to know, Evan, what was the reason behind picking the name Cismontane for the brewery, and what does it mean?
When people first moved to California, they called this area, basically Baja to Santa Barbara, Cismontane. If you look around, you'll notice you're surrounded by mountain ranges. As they started naming towns and areas, it kind of went out of the vernacular. But at that time, if somebody asked you where you were from and you lived here, you would say, I'm from Cismontane, California.
How would you say the tap room reflects your Southern California roots?
Everything we do here at Cismontane is about Southern California. We make all our tap handles ourselves out of salvaged wildfire wood. Pretty much everything in here. If you look at the photos, we change through Southern California artists pretty regularly. We've got mountain bikes all over the place. This is a very mountain bike-centric area. Just about every aspect of what we do is in some way related to Southern California. The beer names, Black's Dawn is named after Black's Beach. The Citizen, of course, is named after all the people that live here. Coulter IPA is named after the Big Cone Pine, and we'll soon be coming out with Holy Jim, which is named after a waterfall in the area.
We noticed that you guys post your own videos on the website. How would you say that helps you connect with the craft beer community?
Those videos come from all over the place. We get a lot of people that have interest in the brewery, some people with a lot of skill in terms of video editing and stuff. If it wasn't for them, those videos wouldn't exist. So we're not putting a whole lot of effort out there to create these things, but when somebody comes to us with an idea, we're more than happy to kind of jump on board and facilitate the process.
I'm here with Jim Classic, one of the brewers at Cismontane. Jim, how long have you been brewing at Cismontane, and how did you get into the brewing industry?
Yeah, I knew I liked homebrewing. I knew I was really interested in beer, and I said I want to give the beer industry a shot. And I didn't know even exactly what I wanted to do, whether it was actually brewing or sales or something. This was probably 1.5 years ago. So Cismontane was about a year old, and it was Evan and Ross doing everything. I mean, brewing and doing sales. We didn't even have a distributor at the time, so they were doing deliveries and picking up empty kegs. Doing everything. So I think they realized they needed some help. So they responded to my cold call email, and Evan was like, well, why don't you come down and help out? And from there it was once every couple weeks I volunteered, and then it was an intern thing, and kind of built it into a full-time paid position.
We know you guys are really connected to the area, so how does the beer reflect the unique culture and natural aspect of this area of Southern California?
I think a great example is the Citizen, which is our California Common. So the history of the style is that, for one, it's the only truly uniquely American style of beer. So when in the 1800s, Americans reached California and they wanted to brew beer, the only yeast they had was German lager yeast, which likes cold temperatures. They didn't have the refrigeration technology to keep it as cold as it wanted to be. The yeast mutated and fermented at a warmer temperature. So the flavors that the yeast kicked off kind of made this unique style of beer, the California Common. So we kind of feel that as a California brewery, it's almost our duty to brew a California Common, and ours is the Citizen.
So you make all the beer. So what's your favorite beer that you make?
We did a lager a couple summers ago, and we called it the Cyclone Yasi, because all the hops we used were from New Zealand. So it was Southern Hemisphere hops. That storm was a big storm that hit in the Southern Hemisphere, and it was a really bright lager that was probably about 5%, not super bitter, but a lot of dry hops. And so it was easy drinking. It was great. It was really a lot of hop aroma, a lot of hop flavor without excessive bitterness. And then the cleanness that comes with a good lager yeast. And I think that's one of my favorites.
personnel here are really awesome. David, great guy to chill with. And then number one is the beer, definitely.
They do a barrel-aged IPA called Dos Con S. That's my favorite. Only comes out once a year, but right now the Deciduous, which is the dry hopped pale ale, is phenomenal.
You run into people you know from the area, and you run into other mountain bike riders and other beer lovers, and it's a nice relaxed atmosphere.
Today at Cismontane was a blast. I mean, they really represent Southern California well, from their beer to the ingredients in their beer and to the people. I mean, it's just awesome. They have, you know, a bunch of people that are bikers, surfers in here, and you know, the atmosphere reflects that. There's bikes, surfboards here, and it's just a chill atmosphere.
The great thing about Cismontane is it's not just they make a lot of beers, they make a lot of good beers. The California Common, which I have here, the Citizen, is really bringing back a classic California beer. It's just a great beer, and everything to 11% Oktoberfest, a barley wine. So it's not just about quality, it's about variety and just a lot of good beers. And I encourage anyone that's in the area, stop by, have a Cismontane beer, and thanks for getting tapped in. Cheers.
Cheers.